Back here on Inside the Ropes, and I'm joined by the one and only, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Jimmy, how are you?
Man, everything's great, man. You know, for my age to be around this many years, you better think it's great, because if you don't, it's all over. You know my old saying, I'd rather go on the road and wear out than sit at home and rust out.
There you go. One to remember. Well, listen, I want to talk about SummerSlam, your SummerSlam memories. The first SummerSlam, '88, Madison Square Garden. What are your memories of that show? You know, the another big pay-per-view for WWF at the time to do?
Well, I've always said being number one at anything is very good. I was on the first WrestleMania, which I'm always proud of, and the first SummerSlam, that we started. And if I remember correctly, I think it was the Ultimate Warrior against the Honky Tonk Man. And people say, well, y'all got beat in 31 seconds. But you know what? Here's what really happened. I'm going to tell the real story. We went to the ring. Honky Tonk, of course, was cocky. He was cool. He was bad. We were confident, man. We sellout crowd. People were screaming and yelling and everything. They wanted to hear Honky Tonk Man sing his favorite song, which he held off a little bit doing it. And then he picked the mic up. I didn't know it. And he said, we challenge anybody in the back to come out here. And I went, oh my God, we're not prepared for that. I'm thinking to myself. And sure enough, here it comes. Boom, 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 boom. Here comes the Warrior. Oh my gosh, I knew we were in trouble because we didn't prepare for the Warrior. Rope, drop down, bam, 1, 2, 3. I didn't know what even happened, man. I said, you got to be kidding me. We need a rematch. Too late. We couldn't get a rematch. But that was our first SummerSlam. One of my favorite SummerSlams, too, was when Honky Tonk Man once again fought the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, because I was always a big Dusty Rhodes fan. Plus, me and my partner wrote the theme song for the American Dream.
Well, I was going to bring that up to you because that was the first SummerSlam I ever watched, and it was Dusty Rhodes and Honky Tonk Man. You tried to use the guitar to hit Dusty Rhodes, and Jimmy, I feel you were part of the Honky Tonk Man's failure that night, unfortunately.
Shh, please don't be bringing up things from the past that are bad. I mean, that's the problem with you guys. You always bring up things to get me in trouble because these guys still have a great memory. Honky Tonk, I don't even call them and going, I remember that. I look back at the tape and I remember hey, look, things slipped out of my hand. I couldn't believe it. I was nervous from going to the ring and I slipped with the guitar and hit the Honky Tonk instead. I couldn't believe it. But that's the way things are sometimes. One of my other favorites was on one side of the ring, Andre the Giant going against Jimmy Hart as a manager. He was managing the Bushwhackers. And on the other side, Earthquake and Typhoon. That was a great time for us, too. But I've just had so many great memories, it's been unbelievable.
Was it, going back to that Dusty Rhodes and Honky Tonk Man match, was that shocking for you that Dusty had been, the world champ in the NWA, and then he comes to WWF, he's got the polka dots. He really embraced the WWF kind of what it was, the cartoon era. He really got it.
Well, you know what? A great entertainer, the American Dream. A lot of people think, well, you got to have this ability in the ring. But look at Dusty. You know what? Dusty was great in the ring. He had the size. He had this. But you know what? He had the most important thing in this business, being able to talk. I don't care how good you are. If you can't relate to our fans, the WWE Universe, then you're in trouble.
Well, the other thing, obviously, one that's very special to our heart in the UK is SummerSlam 92 at Wembley. And the weird thing is, 2 months before, that show wasn't even going to be at Wembley. It was going to be in Washington. And then 80,000 people. I mean, what was that experience like to be there in the UK and see just how up for it the crowd were?
Well, you know what? I've always loved going over to Europe. I've always loved England. I'll tell you why. The breakfast is in the morning. I love baked beans, right? And when you have an English breakfast, if you've never been over there, you go there. I always get down early before we took the bus on tour, and I'd have my baked beans. I'd have my little hash browns. I'd have my scrambled eggs. I'd have 2 helpings of everything because I knew it might be the only meal I'd eat all day. But it was just great back then. That's why I loved it. And a friend of ours over there too, Martin Goldsmith, they had all the big rocking concerts back then. They had Led Zeppelin, they had Madonna, they had Michael Jackson, they had everybody. So he always did tours for us, and I'd always get tour jackets from him. So shout out to you, baby. I love you.
Well, Jimmy, we want to thank you for all your SummerSlam memories.
Thank you, guys.
And we will see you again.
I'm very excited for Triple H to be in control creatively. I was working with him in NXT. That's my home. He was the very first person that gave me words of confirmation that I was born to do this, and he was the very first person that had faith in me and put me on the big stage, starting with the Mae Young Classic. So he's been there since the very beginning. He was there when I won the Royal Rumble, when I main evented at WrestleMania. So it's exciting to see him here and know that he's going to be here for the future. And I'm just excited for it.